At the time of this video, there are over 40,000 stocks in the global market where traders and investors can look for opportunities. And this doesn't even include crypto, forex, futures, and options. Depending on your specific strategy, risk tolerance, and the market you choose to participate in, one of the best tools to cut through the noise in the markets is a watch list. If you can trade it, you can watch it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create watch lists so you can quickly access and focus on what you want to keep an eye on using the ThinkorSwim platform. Let's get started. All right, guys, I have the ThinkorSwim platform pulled up. Now, my charts may look a little different from yours, but the navigation is going to be exactly the same. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up to the top where it says MarketWatch and go down to where it says quotes. Left click on that. Bam. And we are going to create our own watch list from scratch. So over to the upper right hand side, the first menu is the actions menu. We want to select the menu right below it. That's the scan query menu. Left click on that. And we're going to select create watch list. Drag this box down. It's going to blow up. We can name it or you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this watch list example. Now, when you first create this watch list, guys, you can start putting your tickers in right here under where it says symbol, or you can just create it the way it is and click save. Now, why would somebody do that? They would do that because when you want to save a company or a ticker to a brand new watch list, the watch list has to be created before you can add a company to it. So I'll give you an example. If we go over to the calendar sub tab up under MarketWatch, this is where we can look at different events like earnings, dividends, and things like that going on with the companies. So let me take me off the screen. Right here under the ticker hood, if I right click on it, right here where it says add hood to watch list, if I didn't already have that watch list created, example would not be here. But since it is there, I can add hood to it from here. So I left click on it, and now we go back to the quote sub tab. And there it is. Hood is added to that watch list that we just created. And now that we have our watch list, we can also add our tickers, anything that we want. So let's start adding some tickers. MCD for McDonald's, BAC for Bank of America, BAC, Amazon, AMZN, Tesla, TSLA. And I mean, the list goes on, whatever company you want to put in there. Guys, it's just that simple. So that's how you create a watch list. Now, there's two different types of watch lists. There's a static watch list and there's a dynamic watch list. For those of you who watch the weekly recap lives, I told you guys I was going to do a video where I show you how to create the custom watch list that I have. So up here in the upper left-hand side of the screen, you left click on where it says example. That's going to be the drop down menu for your watch list. So under personal is where all of your custom watch lists are going to be located. So any watch list you create is going to be under personal. So here are my custom watch lists that I have for the different sectors, all 11 sectors in the S&P 500 index. So when I pull this up on the weekly recap live, for you to be able to follow along, I'm going to show you how to create these watch lists. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to delete watch lists, and then we're going to add these back. Okay. So if you go up to the scan query menu, right down here where it says delete, we go down and delete whatever custom watch list that we created we want to delete. So I'm going to delete the S&P 500 communication services. It's going to ask me, do I want to do that? I say yes. That's gone. Also, I want to delete the example we created earlier. Done. So let me show you how to create those watch lists that we use for the weekly recap lives. All right, guys, now that we're under the scan tab, under the stock hacker sub tab, we're going to go over here to where it says show actions menu, and we're going to reset this filter. I want to make sure we're both starting off in the same place. These three filters, we can close those out. Just hit X. All right, now with those gone, we only need to add two things to this filter to pull up what we need. So right here where it says scan in all stocks, click the drop down menu, and we're going to go to the S&P 500 watch list. So go to public R through W and then S&P 500. That's the first part of the scan. So when we click scan, it's going to pull up all of the companies in the S&P 500 index, but we want a specific sector. So we need to add another filter to this scan. So right here where it says intersect with, we're going to open up that menu, go down where it says by industry. So we want to replace what I deleted, the communication services sector. We're going to go right here where it says select all communication services. Select that and then click scan. Just that simple. Now it gave us those 23 companies. So it's only 23 companies currently in the S&P 500 index that are in the communication services sector. Now I want to tell you something important about this scan query or this dynamic watch list. Right here where it says show 50, if that number is not high enough to get everything that matches your criteria, it's going to cut that list off at that number. So let me show you what that would look like. If we made this number 10 and save the query, so we go to scan query menu, save scan query. We're going to name this example EXAMPLE, save. Now we're going to go over to MarketWatch. Under the quotes tab, we're going to open up our watch list menu. Go to personal, and now you can see that it has that dynamic watch list symbol next to the word example, or next to the watch list example. So let's open that up. And guys, we can see that it's only showing 10 companies. So let's fix this. And we're going to actually name it what we need to name it this time. But before we do that, I'm going to show you how to delete this again. So we go to scan query menu, go to delete, and we're going to delete that dynamic watch list name example. Good. Now we go back to the scan tab. We're already under stock hacker. We can close these out again. We already have this set. So it's still the S&P 500 index with the scan in. The intersect with is still communication services. All we need to do is make this a larger number. To be safe, I'm going to make it 100. Then we click scan. So there are the 23 companies that's inside of the S&P 500 index that are in the communication services sector. Now we're about to save this scan. So we go to scan, query menu, save scan query, and we're going to name it S&P 500 communication services, save. Now we go back to the MarketWatch tab, watch list drop down, go to personal, and there it is. We replaced it. Open it up. There it is, guys. It's just that simple. That's how we do it. So that's how you create a dynamic watch list and a static watch list on the ThinkorSwim platform. And if you have the mobile app, the watch list that you created on the platform will also be available in the app on your phone. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. If you haven't done so already, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly would appreciate it. And make sure you guys join us weekdays following the market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.